Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at VeChain. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below in the comment section. Also in the description below you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. So for the most part, we're still looking for that same potential with VeChain. I am looking for that possibility of actually coming up here and testing some of these highs. So we're going to have to see whether we can manage to get up there. But we also need to be a little bit cautious because we have actually moved to the top of this channel again. And effectively, we have completed the minimum that we would be looking for as a C wave, and we've actually moved up to the 786. So we could actually look to potentially get a rejection to the downside here, though we do have a potential bullish count as well. The one-to-one of this C wave that I'm currently looking for is potentially up here at this 3618. This does have the potential to extend out and become a bigger five-wave move. And what we'd be looking for would be something like this, if that would be the case. And if I just turn off this other one here, the corrective move, what we'd be looking for would be that potential to actually form a much bigger move to the upside here, where this becomes a 1-2. We're looking for a bigger push up towards this 49.31 zone, and then we're looking for an additional 4.5. So these are still possibilities that are on the table, but we'd also need to just be careful within this zone because, like I said, we've met that minimum requirement if that's going to be a C wave to the upside here, and then potentially we could actually look either drop down into this zone or potentially a deeper drop, which could actually look to take this low. So we need to be a little bit careful with this. It could develop both ways at this point. We can potentially look for this to continue up. Like I said, we've got a bullish count within here where we could actually look for some more upside here first before we actually come down. And we're going to go over that now. So whether we want to look at this as an A, B, or a C, or whether we want to look at this as a 1, 2, the key point here, if we want to look for further progression, is actually managing to hold this 22.12. And what we'd be looking for in this case would be the possibility that we could be looking for a move like this. So this does look quite complicated, but we're going to go over it. So effectively, what I'd be looking at here is the potential that we actually have a five-wave structure into this high. So this would be basically a 1, 2, 3. All of this would become a wave 3. We're looking for that fourth, and then potentially one more push to the upside here. So the what would be important with this is that we actually came down to this 50% zone again, this 2818, and that's sort of the maximum we want to come down here for this potential to push up here, and we want to keep that zone if we're looking for that bullish potential within the structure. So this is something I actually highlighted within the Discord. The potential that we could actually look for a trade setup here, where if we do actually look to move down into these zones lower down here, the risk reward starts to become a bit better. Obviously, entering now wouldn't be such a great idea in my opinion, just because of the fact that we have to just be mindful of the fact this could extend. So I'd want to see what the C wave does. So the one-to-one of this actually is sitting here at this 02904, and if we do move down into this zone, we can see that this yellow box area is a potential zone of support. So the golden pocket would actually be here at this 2931 to this 2922. However, the lower range of this would be that 786, would be this 2881. So some interesting things about this is we do have a little bit of a liquidity buildup down towards the bottom end of this. But then we also do have a lot of liquidity building up above us. So this would kind of fit in with that narrative of having a bigger third wave to the upside here, though we'd have to maintain this low point of this 2815. If we manage to maintain that, we could still look for this possibility to move back to the upside. Like I said, this one-to-one of this 20 would be this 2904. So I'm keeping an eye on this. If we do move down into this range, we could be looking for that potential to either form this structure as an a B, and a C, or alternatively, if we do get that bigger impulse to the upside like we're looking for, we could still see this move up into this zone, looking for this third wave and then this additional fifth wave here. I don't actually have the target on at the moment. Let me just measure that out off of this. I'm just going to take it off that one-to-one. So the target zone would then be that 3450 for this to become a third wave to the upside. So if we did move up like this, effectively what we'd then be looking for is the fact that we could then have a completed move here, And what we'd be looking for from then would be basically a three-wave retracement. And we'd be looking for this possibility to come back down in a three-wave structure like this. So if we wanted to argue that we were looking at this bigger 1-2-1-2 pattern, then we would want to hold this zone above this 22-1-2 area. So what we'd be holding, or looking to hold there rather, would be this zone if we do move up here, potentially between this 50%, which would be this 2816, to this 786, which would be this 2453. So this zone in between here, this 618, could be a potentially interesting area as well. Though we'd also have to just be a little bit careful that we don't get a deeper retracement than this, because at the end of the day, if we just get a move like this, we would only have a three-wave structure, and really losing this low here at this 02212 would potentially mean that we could be actually looking to set up and have a corrective move to the downside. So if we do lose this 2122 zone, then effectively we would have to just treat this as a three-wave move to the upside, and then we'd have to be cautious of the move off the back of that. If we do get a five-wave structure, it could indicate that we are going to actually take some lower lows here. But provided we actually manage to stay above this 1533, we could actually set up for more bullish moves within this space. So we just have to keep an eye on it. This is what I'm looking for at the moment. If we do lose this 2818 area, effectively the next zone I'd be looking for potential support would actually be this 2680 to this 2400. If we do hold this zone, you can see there's some potentially interesting areas here that would line up with this channel. And what we'd be looking for the possibility, if we do lose this, would be the potential to actually move down. So a 1-to-1 would actually only take us here towards this 2719. But if we did overextend this a little bit towards this 1382 or 1236, we can see that this would bring us down into this typical area that we tend to look for wave two. So what this would be looking for is actually the potential that what we could have had here, instead of looking for that extension, is basically a move that has completed into this high, and we'd be looking at this potentially as a wave 1-2, and then looking to actually progress to the upside. But losing this zone here of this 2400 area, that would invalidate, well, it wouldn't invalidate, it would just make it very unlikely that we are looking at an additional impulse here. Generally speaking, they tend to find support above this zone, but really only once we cross this line here, this 2212, would that invalidate the possibility of extension to the upside here. So we just need to be aware of that. If we do start to break down, we do have a couple of bearish options we were talking about still, that if this is a completed corrective structure into here, because like I said, we've met that minimum requirement. We just need to be on the lookout that we don't have a bigger diagonal to the downside, which would be something like, not that one. Sorry, I've got two on. I need to actually delete this one. So basically looking at the potential that all of this into this low was a wave one, potentially looking for wave two, looking for a 3, 4, and a 5. So this is still on the cards. We need to be aware that actually until we take this high point, we could still be looking at this potential where this becomes a 1, 2, and then we get another three-wave structure down for wave 3, taking out this wave 1 low, and then looking for a fourth and a fifth to the downside. All of this would take place in three-wave structure. So what we'd want to see within the internals of this would be basically a three-wave move, a three-wave move, another three-wave move, and then finally another three-wave move, looking to actually take us much lower here. So this is one of the bearish options that is still possible. So we need to just be a little bit careful within the structure. So if we do start to break down deeper, that could be an indication if we start to lose these key areas of this 2212, and then would the last sort of zone of defense lower down here would be this zone of this 786 at 1807. If we lose this area, it would be likely that we would be looking for those lows. Though what we would potentially have, at this point would be more structure. So if we do have a five-wave move that comes down something like this, it becomes more likely that we're actually going to get a three-wave move and then continue to the downside. So we're going to have to just monitor the moves to the downside. But for the time being, that's what I'm looking out for. We did also talk about the possibility of looking at this in a different way, where we have an extension from further back here, where we look at this as a 1-2, then potentially another 1-2 in here, where this becomes a 1-2, and then we're looking for that potential for this to move up as a third wave, though we haven't actually reached that 1618 target, which would be this 3319. So it is still possible we could look at this in the same way, where we're actually looking for this as a fourth wave to play out here, though it would need to be a bit more sideways in my opinion. And because we haven't actually moved past this, I just want to see if we do have that additional leg up here. If we do get that additional leg up here, then what I would be looking for would be that potential to actually have this green fourth wave play out and then actually have some extension pushing this further up here. The thing is, what we would want to see is, if we're going to count this in this manner, what we'd have to say is that effectively we had quite a sideways wave 2 here, so we'd want to see quite a deep wave 4, but without crossing this wave 1 high here. This is not my ideal count. I am sort of going with the simpler count, that this is a wave 1-2 into here, or an AB, and then looking for this as a C wave, or the potential start of that third wave as a wave 1. That would make more sense within the structure. But we're just going to keep an eye on this anyway. If we do move up past this at 3319, then we can potentially start looking to see if we get additional fourths and fifths playing out. But until we actually do that, we just need to be cautious. Like I said, on the smaller scale here, as long as we hold this low of this 2818, we can still look for this potential to move to the upside here. So keep an eye on it. If we do move down lower into this range, it becomes quite a good risk reward. Obviously the lower we get, your stop would have to be underneath this low. And then obviously this is not financial advice. This is just something that I'm currently looking at. If we do move into this zone, we could potentially then look for that upside potential. But I would also be cautious of this channel line if we do move up here, because this could just be an A, a B, and a C, and we just look to actually move to that 1-1, and then actually we look to break down from there. So that's just something to be cautious of on the way up. We could still, like I said, just get a three-wave move, and then we actually have a bigger A, B, and then a C here. So this is something to be mindful of within this. Really, until we take this high point of this 32.54, we could actually still see that progression to the downside. Moving up above this could still indicate a flat, but if we do move up high enough, then we'd be looking for that five-wave move that we discussed. Okay, I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Once in the general chat area, just mention member staff. We'll be happy to help you out. Also in the description, you'll find affiliate links for BYBIT and PrimeXBT. Check them out. They really are great exchanges. They're the ones we use when we're doing our trades. If you haven't got an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next